All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Teacher Nivs, Dr. Joe's reading and writing class. Today is July 31st, 2025. If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 93 in the chat? If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 93 in the chat? Awesome. All right, Melinda, I believe this is your first class with us, right? Um, You can also submit your messages in the main chat. I actually just prefer everything in the main chat just so I can see it all clearly. Because Zoom has this update now where if you private chat, it creates a new tab, and that is very tough. So, Melinda, is this your first class with us?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I just wanted to make sure like you weren't here when I had a sub or something and I missed you. Okay, cool. Let us get started. So, lucky for Melinda actually, the homework slide was not updated. So we're actually going to skip that this class and we're going to just move on to the book of the day. So, book of the day, Fangirl. Who here has read this? I don't know, I've not read it myself, but I hear that it is very popular. Anybody? No? Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, Xiaoya, can you start us off?
A Fangirl by Rainbow Roel. Kath is a Simon Snow fan. Okay, the whole world is a Simon Snow fan. But for Kath, being a fan is her life, and she's really good at it. She and her twin Ren is escons. Wait, what is that word?
Ensconced.
Ensconced themselves in the Simon Snow series when they were just kids. It's what got them through their mother leaving. Reading, rereading, hanging out in Simon Snow forums, writing Simon Snow fan fiction, dressing up like the characters for every movie premiere. Kath's sister has mostly grown away from fandom, but Kath can't let go. She doesn't want to. Now that they're going to college, Ren has told Kath she doesn't want to be roommates. Kath is on her own, completely outside of her comfort zone. She's got a surly roommate with a charming, always around boyfriend, a fiction writing professor who thinks fanfiction is the end of the civilized world, a handsome classmate who wants to talk about words, and she can't stop worrying about her dad, who's loving and fragile and has never really been alone. For Kath, the question is, can she do this? Can she make it without Ren holding her hand? Is she ready to start living her own life? And does she even want to move on if it means leaving Simon's note behind?
Awesome. Okay, thank you for reading that, Xiaoya. Um, who here has moved schools in the mid um after let's say the age of 6 years old? Anyone here move schools, have to leave friends behind? Yeah, Annabelle, would you say it's how tough would you say it is on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being easy?
10, sorry, one, how tough? So 10 being hard, one being easy.
Like a 4.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good level, I'd say. Yeah, some people take it very well, some people don't, not so much, and some people in the middle. Um, but when it is tough, it seems like it can be very tough. Uh, ensconced. Who here knows what ensconced means? Anybody? Russell.
Um, I think ensconced means I think it means like to establish uh like I don't know, like a place that feels homely or like private.
Yeah, it's to, put yourself in a comfortable position or a comfortable place. So, or a place that fits well. Like, like let's say I have a bookshelf, like books are ensconced in the shelf, right? Which means they're in a good position, it's relatively tightly held together, etc., right? And then when you're talking about people, like, oh, she was ensconced in the house, means she is like very comfortable, safe, whatever in the house. So I'll just put the dictionary definition up. Okay. All right, let's move on to the author. Can I get Annabelle? Annabelle, can you read this?
Rainbow Rowell is an American author best known for young adult and adult contemporary novels that explore love, identity, and growing up. She was born on February 24th, 1973 in Omaha, Nebraska, where many of her stories are set. Before becoming a full-time writer, Rowell worked as a newspaper columnist and copywriter. She gained widespread acclaim with her 2013 novel Eileen and Park, a tender, bittersweet love story between two misfit teens in the 1980s. Her other notable works include Fangirl, Carry On, and Attachment. Rowell's writing is praised for sharp dialogue, relatable characters, and emotional honesty. She has also written for Marvel Comics, including a run on Runaways and She-Hulk. Today, she continues to write fiction for both teens and adults.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for reading that, Annabelle. And let's move on. So I couldn't find a quote from Rainbow Rowell or Rowell. So I went very generic. Franklin D. Roosevelt. The one thing we have to fear is fear itself. Do you agree with this quote? Or maybe I should say explain this quote for this one. And then examples. I want you to explain it with an example. However that may be. 4 sentences minimum, 5 minutes. I think that's fair. I'll start the timer now. So for Melinda, have you been in any other of Dr. Joe's classes?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the drill. So you just have little writing assignments, you submit it in the Zoom chat, and we move on. Oh, one thing I want you to, Melinda, to keep in mind as we go through these activities is we're gonna have a hot take section. So if you ever have some downtime, like you submit your work, like try brainstorming some hot takes, which are just opinions that you have that many other people disagree with. Um, it's one of our fun little activities in this class. Okay, I'm starting the 5 minute timer starting now. All right. Time is up. Let's see what you guys came up with. All right, let's see. Also, guys, you can just submit in the public chat. We're gonna put it up here anyways. So, if the main chat is much easier. Okay. If you're not done, just submit what you have, and then just as you're reading, say what you wanted to add. All right. Okay. Let's throw some more of these on the chat board. Also, if you're finished early, you guys can just, I mean, I've said this before. If you finish early, you could just submit. You don't have to wait for the timer. Okay, Melinda, would you like to start us off by reading your response?
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, means that fear can hold us back. We need to overcome our fears or else we may never experience things or take the challenges. For example, if you're afraid of riding a roller coaster, you will never know how fun or exciting it might be unless you face that fear and try it.
Awesome. Okay, very good. Only thing here is just a comma. Even though it's weird, even though this quote itself doesn't have a comma, for the purpose of punctuation, you need a comma here. And you can't put the comma outside. Okay, technically you can, but in American English, which is what we will be following, you can't. So let's do that. Okay, we need to overcome our fears, or else we may never experience things or take the challenges. We may experience things, or so instead of I would say take on challenges. Just because it's not clear what the challenges are, even though it can be implied. It can be implied we're talking about just challenges in life, but the implies there might be something specific. So just to clarify, I would put on there. For example, if you are afraid of riding a roller coaster, you will never know how fun it is unless you face that fear and try. Great. Okay. Great stuff. Good stuff, Melinda. Russell, would you like to read yours?
I believe that the quote is suggesting that fear and worry can be more damaging mentally in a problematic situation than the actual issue. One example is if you have a test and you fear getting a bad score on it, then you will never have the courage to actually practice and you'll fail.
Awesome. Yes. Suggesting that fear and worry can be more damaging mentally in a problematic situation. Actual. Awesome. I like how you use the word suggesting, because you're not trying to explain specifically what the quote means, but it's just what can be extrapolated from it. Can be more damaging. Great. One example is if you have a test and okay, great, and you fail, then you will never practice and try harder for the next one. Great. That's true. A big part of success is really just the confidence to work harder and practice more and put in more hours, right? That's a very good point. Good stuff, Russell. Xiaoya, would you like to read yours?
What Roosevelt is trying to convey is that you should never give up, no matter what position you're in. The quote is also trying to express that nothing is impossible or unreachable. For example, if you always wanted to open up a small business but you're scared it won't become successful, you should just start it. I didn't get to finish it, so it's kind of like really choppy at the end.
That's fine. That you should never give up no matter what position you're in. The quote is trying to express that nothing is impossible or unreachable. Great. For example, if you've always wanted to open up a small business, but you're scared it won't be successful, you should just start it. I would say you should just start it, like personally, I would add and find out for yourself, right? Just because I think I think yeah, like it does feel like it ends off on a sort of awkward note. Like you should just start it, but why? But I guess the key here is that like you never know, right? Uh, but good stuff. Good stuff here. Annabelle, what would you like to or sorry, would you like to read yours?
What this quote is trying to convey is that we shouldn't fear anything except for the idea of being scared of something. This means we should always try to be brave and step outside our comfort zone. For example, if you're scared of doing something, you should just try instead of holding back.
Nice. If you are scared of doing something, you should just try it instead of holding back. Um, awesome. Okay, I just realized this is very similar to Xiaoya's. You guys think alike. Is that we shouldn't fear anything, so for the idea of being scared of something interesting, this means that we should always be brave and step outside our comfort zone. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. I guess yeah, this quote was relatively straightforward, but you guys did a good job. Nice. Let's move on to the vocab of the day. Can I get Derek? Derek, can you read this one? Okay, any volunteers? Okay, I just wanted to give it a try. Okay, I think I don't let's go with Melinda. Melinda, would you like to read this?
Imprecation, a spoken curse. The old sailor muttered an imprecation under his breath as the storm closed in. Lachrymose, tearful or given to weeping mournful. The film's ending was so lachrymose it left the entire audience in tears. Farrago, a confused mixture, a hodgepodge. The article was a farrago of half-truth, speculation, and wild exaggeration. Abjure, to formally renounce a belief, cause, or claim. She abjured her former allegiance to the group after the scandal broke. Mendicant, a beggar, one who lives by asking for charity. The mendicant sat silently at the cathedral steps, a cup resting at his feet.
Nice. Okay. Let's keep oh wait, sorry. Let's move on to the next one. So, Melinda, what we do here is this has been workshop for a long time. We used to do a paragraph, then people wanted to do sentences, but then not all people wanted to do sentences.
Sentence.
Pardon?
Sentence better.
Sentence better. So now I give people the choice. You can either write one short paragraph with all of the words or one sentence with all the words. This is sort of a challenge that a lot of the people in this class like to do. And if you do, also try and incorporate the name Bob in your writing. So it's just a little funny thing that we do, I guess. Okay, 3 minute timer. Starting the timer now. Okay, time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Why does this keep happening? I highlight everything, yet we still have these issues sometimes. Oh, there it is. Okay. Russell, start us off.
Bob observed the article he had written 6-7 years ago that renounced all mendicants with a lachrymose imprecation in one big farrago of a speech, so he renounced his renunciation.
Okay. Let me throw these words in the chat, by the way. I forgot to do that. Mendicant or renounce all mendicants with a lachrymose imprecation in one big farrago. Okay, nice. Good stuff. Very good. Very good job, Russell. Okay, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
The mendicant hoped to receive money by making a speech that was supposed to be a lachrymose aperture, but ended up being a farrago that included a mix of implications.
Formally renounce. Ah, okay, nice. Nice, good stuff, Annabelle. Okay, and Xiaoya.
Bib was a lachrymose mendicant and carried on a farrago of money and trash while muttering imprecations that he observed were from the demons in the sky. And meanwhile, Bob was a millionaire.
Okay, nice. I mean, this is great. This is. I'm just gonna leave this. I won't uh judge that. What's going on here in this chat? Bob. Okay, I don't know. What is everyone's obsession here with Bob? Okay. Any other responses? No. Okay. Let's move on. Let's quickly do our summary activity. Actually, no, let's do that later. Wait, where is the summary activity? What? Oh, it's over here. Okay, let's do hot takes first. Okay, so hot take. I say another because everyone in this class has already given a hot take before, except for Melinda. So give another hot take of yours and explain why this is your belief. Defend your position to the best of your ability in 4 minutes. So it's relatively straightforward. So like something like video like playing video games on a computer is not as fun as playing on a console, or baseball is the most boring sport, or whatever, right? So a lot of these hot takes are very hard to defend, but I want you to try your best to defend it. All right, starting a timer. Where is my timer? What is going on? Okay, starting a 4-minute timer now.
What is hot takes again? I forgot.
That's my bad. I should have explained. A hot take is just a opinion that you have that is quote unquote hot. So meaning a lot of people or most people will disagree with it. Or it's controversial. Like a lot of people are going to have problems with it. Like pineapple on pizza, for example. A lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. You know, baseball is the best sport. You know, a lot of people might think that, but a lot of people definitely don't agree with you, right? So hot take is just something that will a lot of people will disagree with. Not necessarily in this class, but in general.
So are we like saying that like agreeing that basketball is or baseball is the boring?
Oh no, this is just an example. This is just an example. So I want you to give me one of your own hot takes.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. And then defend it. All right, all right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Okay. All right, Russell, start us off.
Michelin stars don't mean the food is good, just that it impresses rich people. Michelin stars are usually seen as a big deal in the food world, but they don't always mean the food is genuinely enjoyable for everyone. They mostly are places that impress rich people with fancy presentation, complicated techniques, and a fancy and long name. So really, Michelin stars say more about how they are represented than what tastes good.
Ooh, interesting, interesting. This is a slightly different take than the beginning, but I guess it's still like this is like a sub take of the main original point. Um, very interesting. I've been to a 1-star Michelin place, and I will be honest, Russell, that was the best food I've ever had. But maybe like 2 and 3 stars, maybe that's just ridiculous.
How
Uh,
much money did they cost?
a lot, a lot. That was for a special.
Exactly.
That was for a special event. Um, so maybe you have a point there. Okay. In my opinion, of course, my opinion is not always correct. Okay, Xiaoya, would you like to read yours?
Creamy peanut butter is better than crunchy peanut butter, and this is why. When you eat something with creamy peanut butter, you aren't worried about getting surprised and annoyed when you crush down on a rock hard peanut. However, when you eat crunchy peanut butter, you have to endure the endless chewing, and it's even worse if you have a wiggly tooth and are just trying to enjoy a PB and J.
I
It's
think I
called
think
peanut butter for a reason. I mean, like, yeah.
very interesting. Creamy peanut butter and this is why when you eat something creamy peanut butter, you aren't worried about getting surprised and annoyed when you crunch down a hard rock peanut. However, when you eat crunch peanut butter, you have to endure the endless chewing and so you need a comma here and endure. It's even worse. They have a wiggly tooth and are just trying to enjoy PB&J. Uh, awesome. Awesome. This is an interesting take. I personally, I don't ever buy crunchy peanut butter. I wonder why people buy it, why they exist. I'm sure there's some people who love it. But interesting take, Ishaya. Okay, James, would you like to read yours? James?
Oh, splitting Oreos in half instead of eating it is the better option. How eating Oreos whole allows you to get both both parts of the Oreo at the same time. I personally think that by doing this, you finish your Oreo too fast. When I split the Oreo in half, I eat the side without the frosting first, allowing me to leave the best part for last.
Let me tell you the best part of it. The best part being just the cookie?
The part with the frosting.
Oh, okay, wait. When I split that, I eat the side with the that's my bad. Without the frosting first. Okay, nice. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I usually just lick the inside and then put it together, but interesting, very interesting. Well, we have some good takes today, guys. I'm very impressed with everyone's hot takes today. Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Except for pepperoni and Takis, spicy things are not good. Autocorrect
Yeah.
corrected my Takis. Spicy things are not good. Personally, I have no spice tolerance. They make your mouth burn, so I always need to drink water when I eat spicy food. I don't understand why people like having little fires all over their tongue.
I don't understand why people like having fires all over the time. Interesting, interesting. Very interesting. I have no spice. Usually, so turns out spice tolerance is something that humans adapt to, and if you're not given spicy food when you're young, you will most likely not like it unless you sort of slowly build up a tolerance. But that is interesting. The only thing I would say is not good is um I like to explain it like this. Like so if I say, spicy food is good, we have a circle of good, okay? And then, okay, let's say here's a box of all the things something can be. And then if I say, spicy food is good, here is good. It means something relatively specific to everyone in their mind. But if I say something is not good, all I'm saying is it's not in this circle, right? But not good can mean something here, can mean something here, something here, something here, something here. So not good can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, right? So not good is just not specific enough generally in writing. You don't want to describe something with a negative if you can avoid it. Or if in this case, I think what you could say is spicy things don't taste good. That's at least a bit more specific, right? Not good can mean a lot of things or in a lot of ways. Spicy things are don't taste good, or spicy food is never better than the alternative mild food or whatever, right? Like something a little more specific. Not good is just it's honestly it's just a very it's a phrase I'd like all of you all to avoid as much as possible, even in your personal lives when you're just speaking. Okay, and but good job overall. Like also very good, interesting hot take. I'm very impressed with everyone's hot takes today. Melinda, would you like to read yours?
Why is ice cream called ice cream? It should be called cream whirl because it is creamy and has swirl with different flavors. There is no ice in ice cream. Maybe there is, but it should be called something else.
There is no ice in ice cream. Maybe there is, but it should be called something else. Interesting. Why is ice cream called ice cream? It should be called cream whirl. Huh. This is the most random hot take that I agree with here. Cream whirl sounds pretty good. Okay, great. This is very interesting hot take. I'm very thoroughly impressed with everyone's unique hot takes today. Okay, so now here is the second part of this activity. We're going to pick a person, and you have to then attack their hot take. So, Russell, you submitted first. Whose hot take would you like to attack?
Annabelle.
Okay, so Russell to Annabelle. Then you know what? We'll just do it in order of submission so that we can get people to submit. Xiaoya, who would you like to submit?
Wait, let me think for a second. I would like to attack Russell's because I don't agree with it at all.
Okay. Xiaoya is attacking Russell. Okay, James, who would you like to attack?
Can I attack Melinda?
Yep. Okay, and then Annabelle, who would you like to attack?
I agree with both of them. Um,
You have
I'll just attack James.
James. Is this a closed loop right now? Yeah, that's a closed loop. So I'm going to get you to. Oh, this is tough. Okay. So you're going to attack James. So this is a closed loop. So Melinda, you can attack anyone of your choice. Oh wait, no, sorry, you have to attack Xiaoya. No one's attacking Xiaoya. Sorry, I miscalculated that. Okay, so I submitted in the chat whose opinion you have to attack. Even if you agree with them, you need to give me a very quick argument against their opinion. Okay? So it's like a lawyer. You're hired to be a lawyer against this argument. You need to argue against it. Sorry, Shaya. Sorry about that. Okay. So for this next activity, we're gonna do it's gonna be much shorter. It's gonna be 3 minutes. And this one I'm not really gonna look for grammar mistakes. I'm going to mainly look at structure of your argument and validity of your argument. So it's like a logic test almost. Or logic, not test, activity. Okay, 3-minute timer starting now. So again, just a quick, brief argument against your designated person's opinion. Okay, time is up. Let's see what you guys came up with. Anybody else? Only Annabelle. All right. You got Xiaoya. Just submit what you have, even if you're not done. It's okay. Remember, I'm not really judging like grammar and things like that here. I'm really just judging like structure and logic. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
Eating Oreos whole is much better than splitting it. The Oreos biscuit is not as good as the frosting, so when you first eat the side with no frosting, it doesn't taste good. However, when you eat a whole, you get to taste the frosting all the time, so it tastes better.
Interesting. Okay. So in this case, you're arguing the frosting is just good, the biscuit is not good. What I would say logically you should also include is that the whole is greater than the sum of, wait, what is it? Yes, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which means um the biscuit adds to the frosting rather than the biscuit alone and frosting alone. So it creates a balance and whatnot. You could even talk about like when the biscuits are together, you don't have to break them apart, get your hands messy, etc. Essentially just trying to isolate and target any points, anything that's different between eating the Oreo whole and eating the Oreo while breaking it apart. Good stuff. Xiaoya, would you like to read yours?
Michelin star restaurants are not there just to impress rich people. People who have reviewed those restaurants gave it a Michelin star because their food is delicious, not because it impresses rich people. I actually tried a Michelin star BBQ in LA and it was heavenly. It also wasn't expensive at all. At all. In fact, it was about the same price as normal non-Michelin star restaurants.
What? What? Is this real? What was the place called?
It was, I think it was like the prices were aren't. I thought they were like $30 for like one slice, but it was like I don't know, $30 for
Okay,
like
I'm searching it
one.
up right now.
It was like something called like Heritage Barbecue. And it was like
Heri-
really, really good. Like
Heritage BBQ LA.
it wasn't actually that bad. I think I
Huh.
remember it wasn't
What
actually that bad.
the?
What?
Hold up. Okay,
I
yeah, but
recommend
it
you
is
go
a
try it.
Michelin
If you live
star.
in LA, go try
Yep,
it.
Okay.
it somehow has a Michelin star.
Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
So it looks like Heritage BBQ does not have a Michelin star. It is Michelin recognized.
Oh, I thought
Which,
that was the same
Aha.
thing.
yes, so Michelin recognized, this has confused me in the past before too. Michelin recognized means that is really just actually just good food. They go and find like places with amazing food. Price is also part of the judgment criteria, I believe. And then they'll give you like this thing where it's Michelin recognized, where it's like, oh, this is an amazing food item. But then Michelin stars are different. They really only give those to high end because it's like service is part of the criteria, and then those get expensive, right?
Oh, I thought they were the same thing.
Yeah, no, no, no. I thought so too, and I went to one, and I was like, "This is amazing," but like, there's no service; it's just takeout. And then I realized, oh, stars.
Wait, the service there was like really, really good though. Like after 5 minutes, we just got our order.
Wow, that's awesome. But yeah, but to Russell's point, the service I think it has to be. I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm gonna say something that's wrong, but
The wait was like really long though. There was like it was like 30 minutes in like a
mm,
really long line.
I've waited one
But it was
hour
worth
30
it. Oh my
minutes
God, it
for
was
a
so worth
dinner
it.
at Christmas Eve.
wow, it
So
happened.
Russell, do you live
What?
in LA?
No, I don't live in LA, but I searched it up and it's, yeah, Michelin recognized.
Okay, awesome. Okay, it was
Is it?
actually, but yeah, so I will say, but y- it's still fair point. Like not necessarily just to impress rich people. What I would do also, Xiaoya, here is I don't know if you know the history of Michelin star, but like I would add if you had more time or whatever, add a little bit of the history of the star, and then I know there are a few cheap Michelin star places in the world. Like I think there's one ramen like stand. It's like a stand like you just get takeout. I think there's one in Japan. It has like 2 stars or something. So an example like that would really help your argument. Um, okay, James, would you like to read yours?
I think that ice cream should be called ice cream. Why should it be called cream roll? Cream roll can be a good name since ice cream is nice and creamy and can sometimes come in a swirl. However, not all ice creams comes in a swirl. It mostly comes in a scoop of just one flavor. Ice cream can come in a carton that can be multiple flavors, but they are never in swirl shape and instead are split into different sections.
Ah, okay, fair point, fair point. Ice cream can often come in a scoop that sort of targets it. I would argue though that like ice cream is usually made by like swirling the cream together until a certain texture. Um but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, there's an argument against cream roll for sure. So one thing I would also say is, ice cream it's probably called ice cream because ice is cold and it's basically like really cold cream, right? So I would definitely address that as well. Okay, Melinda, would you like to read yours?
Crunchy PB&J are way better than creamy PB&J because it adds more texture and satisfying crunch. Although there isn't any different flavor, it's different by its peanut butter chunk or granola bits. The smoothness of the jelly and the chunks make a perfect balance. Creamy is what you ate when you were 5. It's time to grow up and eat some crunchy stuff.
Nice, nice, nice. Creamy is what you ate when you're 5. I love that. That's pretty funny. And eat some crunchy stuff. That is a fair argument. Uh, Good stuff, Melinda. Um, the smoothness of jelly in the chunks. That's interesting. I got to try this actually. Okay, now I kind of just want to go through and oh wait,
Wait, how about mine?
I didn't see yours. What? I was just looking. I'm like, wait a second, we're missing someone here. Um, okay, Russell, read yours.
The hot take that spicy food isn't good because it makes your mouth burn completely misses the point. What makes spicy food great isn't just about avoiding discomfort, but about the flavor the spiciness gives to the food. Without that kick, spicy dishes would be bland and boring. So dismissing spicy food just because it makes your mouth burn is like dismissing a roller coaster just because it makes your stomach flip.
Interesting. Would be bland and boring, so just missing. Great argument, like comparing it to some other situation that is very comparable, maybe not exactly the same, but very comparable, and then you sort of draw a parallel and discredit the argument. So good argumentative style here. I like it. Um, I don't think spiciness is the only flavor, but yeah, it is a big part of it, right? Okay, good stuff, guys. So one thing I want to do is just quickly go through the original hot takes. Put your hand up if you agree with them. Okay, so let's just go through quickly. Russell's Michelin star food doesn't mean the food is good. Put your hand up if you agree. Okay, put your hand up if you disagree. So wait, Annabelle, you put your hand up for both.
Well, I agree sometimes and I disagree sometimes.
Okay, then so no one agreed with Russell besides Russell, Xiaoya here, and then if you're 50-50, put your hand up now. Melinda, Annabelle. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Um, and then okay, Xiaoya, would you like to read or not read yours? Sorry. Let's vote on Xiaoya's. So creamy peanut butter is better than crunchy. Put your hand up if you agree. Two strong hands up. Okay. Put your hand up if you disagree. Anyone? And put your hand up if you're 50-50 or don't have an opinion. Okay, cool. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think I'd more in that camp as well. Okay, James. Splitting Oreos in half instead of eating it whole is the better option. Put your hand up if you agree. Wow, everybody agrees. Okay, put your hand up if you disagree. Okay, Xiaoya. Okay, nice. I 50-50. No? Okay. And spicy things are not good. Put your hand up if you agree. Put your hand up if you disagree. Okay, it looks like everyone else who's participating. James, I want to see some hands. And if you're 50-50, put your hand up. No? Okay. And last but not least, why is ice cream called ice cream? Should could be called cream whirl. Put your hand up if you agree. If you disagree. 2, 3. Okay. Okay. And if you're 50-50. Okay, so it looks like Annabelle and Melinda have the hottest takes here, and I agree. I think these are both very hot takes. We should have some sort of prize for the hottest takes because that's also part of the fun, right? I don't only want to see takes that everyone agrees with, but these were all really good job today, guys. Jaya, do you have something to say?
So if I do like the hottest, so like you said, like the hottest take like gets a prize, right? So what if I do, brushing your teeth is stupid? Is that the hottest
No,
take?
it has to be the hottest take that you actually believe in. Like you
I
can't.
believe in that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're lying. It has to be enough that people might pick it. Maybe 50-50. Okay. Let us move on to the next activity. Um, okay, let's do the summarization activity. All right. So, okay, this is a very ugly slide, but essentially this is it. So I'm gonna switch the slide to a passage. I want everyone to read the passage as quickly as possible and give me a quick summary in 1, 2, or 3 sentences. Okay. The whole purpose of this next activity is speed. It is trying to read, skim through things quickly, and summarize quickly. It is difficult, but yeah, I know I can tell you guys are capable. And yeah, it's very important because when you're writing tests, um, speed is a big part of the game, right? Of test writing. And when you start writing SATs and all those things, like speed is very important. Okay, so I'm going to start a 3-minute timer and then I'm going to switch to the slide. All right. And you guys are going to read it in your own head and summarize. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Didn't we already do this one?
We already did this one.
No.
Yeah, I think we already did this one.
No. Okay. That is a shame. Um, okay, that is very upsetting. Okay. What shall we do? Okay, I can find another one really quickly. Okay. Have we done how could life possibly have gotten started on Earth? No? Okay, we're gonna do that one. All right, starting the new timer now. All right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with. Okay, many people are wondering the question, how did life start on Earth? Many theories have been out in the world, but which one is correct? The Mary Earth had to be just the right conditions. Okay, good stuff, James. Scientists have been questioning. Yeah, so my issue only with James, I would say, is um setting up the questions is good in terms of introducing the problem. And introducing the problem is very good, an important part of this summary, but it should be raised, it should be addressed in a more without a rhetorical question, right? It should be addressed like, you know, people have been wondering this for this long. No theories, um, no existing theories explain like everything. But the Miller-Urey experiment should uh prove or proves this, right? All right, Russell, science have been questioning the existence of life for centuries. Da, da, da. Nice, good stuff. I like the inclusion of the years. Good stuff. Okay, I have a couple questions. Okay. Um, I have one more question. One second. Actually, no, just this question is fine. What is this passage primarily about? One response. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job, Annabelle. Russell, I agree it would be E, because it's mostly about these specific experiments. This question is supposed to be a little tricky because it just says a hypothesis and experiment. And although that is relatively broad, it is still specifically about that's still specifically what this article is about. Okay, now let us move on to the last section, which is article of the day. Did we do you want to be an explorer? Now I'm
No.
No? Okay, good, because you guys got me scared with the last one. Okay, do you want to be explorer? How about going to deep sea where there's still a lot to investigate? In fact, 99.999% of it remains unknown. Okay. Can I get a volunteer reader? James, can you read this for us?
Have you ever dreamed of being an explorer, climbing the highest mountain on Earth, uncovering ancient bones or artifacts buried underground, traveling to space in search of new planets or signs of life? How about exploring the deep sea, where so much we have just learned remains unknown? If you want to explore anywhere on Earth or even in the cosmos, where would you go? What would you hope to see, learn, or discover? And want to be a deep sea explorer? Don't worry, there's lots left. Bach writes about a new report that reveals the startlingly small extent to which the ocean bottom has been documented. Humans have visually documented about 1,470 square miles or a mere 0.01% of the deep sea floor, according to a new study. That's a little larger than the size of Rhode Island. The, the report published Wednesday in the journal Science Advances arrives as nations debate whether to pursue industrial mining of the seabed for critical minerals. Some scientists argue that so little is known about the undersea world that more deep research on the deep sea floor is needed to responsibly move forward with extractive activities.
Awesome. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's keep going. Who wants to read next? Let's get Annabelle. Annabelle, can you read this slide?
More information is always beneficial, so we can make more informed and better decisions, said Katie Hoff-Bell, a deep ocean explorer who led the study and is the founder of the Ocean Discovery League, a nonprofit group that promotes seafloor exploration. Learning more about the deep sea is essential for understanding how climate change and human activities are affecting the oceans, she said. But the study also highlights the fundamental excitement of exploration that drives many marine scientists. You can just imagine what's in the rest 99.999%, Dr. Bell said. The era of visual documentation included in the study began in 1958 with the Deep Sea Submersible Trace Day. The images collected since then let biologists discover new organisms and observe how they interact with each other and their environments, providing insights into ocean ecosystems. Bringing deep-sea organisms to the surface is studied challenging. Adapted for high pressures, few animals, if any, survive the journey, so photos and videos are crucial.
Awesome. Awesome. And then last but not least, can I get a Russell? Can you read this one?
The article notes some of the additional benefits of the deep sea exploration as well as the challenges. Seeing seafloor rock outcrops in photos and videos has allowed scientists to learn how fundamental Earth processes work. It also helps companies assess potential sites for mining and oil and gas activities. But getting to the seafloor is expensive, both in funds and time. Exploring 1 square kilometer of deep seafloor can cost anywhere from $2 million to $20 million, Dr. Bell estimated. The dives can take years to prepare for and just hours to go wrong, and once a dive is underway, it progresses slowly. A rover tethered to a ship has a limited radius of exploration, moving at a crawl, and relocating the ship is tedious.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. With that being said, let's move on. We have enough time for one question. All right, let's do this one. If you could go anywhere, where would you want to explore and why? What would you hope to learn, see, discover, or accomplish? What challenges, obstacles, or dangers might you face? So we'll give everyone a bit of time for this. 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. Yeah, we'll see what we come up with. Okay. Starting the timer now. All right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with.
Wait, don't copy mine yet. Ah, no. I'm editing it. It'll take like 5 seconds.
Okay, Shia, can you read yours?
I would love to explore the White House someday. It would be so amazing to walk through the hallways and meet the President of the United States himself. I would also learn a lot about how USA was founded and the rich history behind where we live today. The only challenge I might face is actually getting permission to go inside the White House, since the President's safety as well as the overall safety of the United States is very important. Overall, the only thing I would accomplish is being able to brag about the VIP trip that I went on.
Mm, the only thing is, I would say you would have to change the only thing here because the first part does not really mention anything about bragging. It actually mentions some interesting things. So I would say overall, my main takeaway would be the ability to brag, right? But also the current president, the current I don't the current president does not even know the rich history of the country himself.
Oh, oopsies. Can you get rid of that then?
No, I'm not, it's fine. I'm just trying to make a joke. Uh, um all right, Russell, would you like to read yours?
If I could go anywhere in the world, I would go to the subglacial lakes in Antarctica. These lakes have been sealed off from the outside world for millions of years. Exploring them could offer clues about life in extreme environments. They also have been separated from the world for millennia, so they may have evolved differently than we have, giving us a hint of what alien life might look like. I would attempt to discover how life would have evolved millions of years ago and how life might evolve in extreme environments like Europa, one of Jupiter's icy moons. Some challenges I might face are the long trek to Antarctica, the sub-freezing temperatures, and getting to the sealed off lakes themselves.
Nice, very interesting, very interesting. If I could go anywhere, the exploring them put up for grades, we separated, so they may have evolved. I would attempt to discover. Great, awesome, good stuff, Russell. Do we have any other responses? Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm seeing Annabelle's right now. Oh, what? All right, Annabelle, would you like to read yours?
If I could go anywhere, I would explore outer space. The universe is supposedly infinite because it is constantly growing, so there is actually more to explore than anywhere else. The cosmos is also has endless galaxies, stars, and planets to explore. It could also help gather more information on how the universe was formed. However, making robots takes a huge amount of money and time. They're also really easy to go wrong.
They are also really easy to grow up. Okay, so I would say something like they are extremely prone to failure, right? To failure or crashes or whatever. They're really easy to go wrong. You could say it is really easy for them to go wrong. The phrasing is just grammatically incorrect. Um, yeah, so this is just a better way I would phrase that. The cosmos is also, oh, I missed this. Also is great. Do we have any other responses? Okay, so actually, this was a great question. So I'm going to add the same question for the homework. Um, so for the homework question, it's the same thing. If you go anywhere, where would you want to explore and why? or you guys just had this question, due next Thursday. Did anybody do the bonus activity? I'm just gonna ask every week in case anyone did.
I got 1 minute 35 seconds before I started thinking about why I was doing this.
Good. It's actually there's a lot of studies on how healthy it is for your brain. So I'm gonna add a record book and record right now, Russell at 1 min 35 seconds. Jaya.
I did it for like 3 minutes, and then I woke up and realized it had all been a dream.
You did it, and then you realize, wait, you didn't do it. You were just sleeping. Nice. Okay, that's funny. All right, that is all for today, guys. I will see you all next week. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye.